Alone, alone. Good evening, chat. Good afternoon. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you may be. Golden super cycle. The bottom is in according to YouTube and Twitter. Nah, there's no bottom. I think the bottom is going to be 80K. If what's happening is what I think is happening, then we should bottom at 80K in December and then be bullish until March. And then from March till June, we go straight down. Then bottoms in like in the fall and bull run. If what is happening is what I think is happening, I got a lot to show you today. I made a bunch of rubbish ass charts in the Discord. Technically, Bitcoin isn't in a bear market until 75K. You know, you got to do what's best for you, man. I'm not here to do anything but just show you what happens. Or what could happen. Most of these projects will never recover. Exactly. Exactly. It's gonna be brutal for people that don't get out. Like I've been that person before. I just refuse to hold. I refuse to sell. We're not going down. It's Moon Boy season, and then I lose everything. I just can't lose. I already lost too much, but I'm not going to zero. So my new game plan: don't go to zero. That's it. Don't lose money. If you make your game plan, don't lose money, you're gonna do very well. You got to stop losing money before you can start making money. You can't go from losing everything to making it all back. It's not how it works. Goal number 1, stop losing money. Goal number 2, start making some money. Goal number 3, make all your money back. Then you have the option to exit or go for more. That's where you are. But if you're losing your shirt right now and you think you're just going to start trading your way back, you're going to lose all your money anyway. So number 1 goal, don't lose any more money. Once you stop losing money, you can come back after a little while with a fresh attitude, try and make some money. This background is sick, man. I'm sorry. That shit is awesome, bro. John Carlo Riso for 5 says, sold my entire position Saturday and I look like the big brain meme. I appreciate the 5, man. That's awesome. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. I'm never going to be big brain. I lost so much money, but I was already doomed. I was doomed since back here. Like, I was already doomed. So my fate was already set. Technically I was doomed from here. Actually, yeah, technically I was doomed from here. I just kept losing money all the way down. But the thing is, we have the thought process of, well, I already lost so much, so I might as well lose all of it. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard, man. And I used to say that too to myself, but if you think about it, let's just say you sold and you're down to your last whatever. If you put it back in here or here, you could get some money back. But I appreciate the 5, man. I appreciate the 5. We got a bit to talk about today. I'm waiting for the herd to show up. So baby, come light me up. The herd. So Ron Walker was right, boys. Give Ron Walker credit. He was bearish every single fucking time we went up, and he finally got it right. Every time we stopped going up, the top is in. Shout out to Ron Walker. Shout out to Mighty Man for watching on the big screen. This is the kind of shit that I like to see, man. It makes me feel good about myself. You know? I always wanted to be a live streamer. And I guess my dream came true. I'm just greedy. I want all my dreams to come true. And they could have, but they didn't. Now I have to start over again. I'm feeling this background. I'm sorry. Doesn't it feel addicting to watch? It looks, doesn't it? It's so stimulating. You got that's the word. It's stimulus overload. Everything is moving, it's so good. I paid a lot of money for that. No, I didn't. You sent me $2 on base. Yo, I appreciate the 2. Chad, is it okay if I sell my coins that you guys send me so they don't go to nothing? Because I would really like to cash them out. Even if it's like 50 bucks, I could buy myself a leather jacket, please. I appreciate the 2. Can you look at Jesse? Sure. Let's look at Jesse. Remember the TV show Jesse? Some of the shitcoins had big bounces today, but I think it's a trap, man. Jesse, this? Jesse. Am I spelling Jesse wrong? Yeah, unfortunately, I can't give any type of opinion on something that just came out 3 hours ago. I mean, this could be a scam. It doesn't appear to... Is this Wojak still going up? Holy shit. Oh, no, it's done. I can't really give the best opinion on something that just came out. It looks like a rug. I would run it, if you can, I would put it through Soul Sniffer and see if it's a rug, because it might be. And if it isn't, then it isn't. But very difficult to do some type of analysis on something that just came out. I'm not even an analyst, so I wouldn't even call it analysis, but I would say bullish over 33, bullish over 31. I'm assuming this isn't a rug. It looks like a rug, but maybe it isn't. I would put it through Soul Sniffer before you do anything. But I would tell you that she is bullish over 33. And she's bullish over 32. If it falls below 32, the top is in. And you'll have a retracement to about 26. And if it falls below 26, it's going back to 0. All right. There's no resistance, so I can't draw anything. Just let it ride if you're already in. Not financial advice. But it's got to stay over 33 or it's bearish. I appreciate the 2, man. I haven't even been checking my wallet, honestly. I don't even know if you're sending me the money. Let me check. I just took your word for it. Yeah, I got $7 worth of ETH. You're right. Thank you very much. 6 minutes ago. Thank you very much. What about my Soul wallet? Chad, is it okay if I sell my Soul coins and buy myself a leather jacket? I got $36 in my Solana wallet, and I got $7 in my base wallet. That's $40. Can I get myself a little jacket for Christmas, please? Jesse on base. The founder launched a coin. Oh, this Jesse's on Solana. Sorry about that. I don't see a base option. I really don't want to use Dex Screener anymore because it's like the casino and it just gives me bad PTSD. But I'll do it just for your $2. Jesse on base. Okay, I did the wrong one. Yes, I really hate Dex Screener. It just gives me. I'm trying to leave this in the past. Look, I'm looking at all the shit coins. GameStop on ETH is up 50%. It's just not healthy. I gotta get out of here. Oh, what about Dex Tools? I think it's the same thing. Now I'm just looking at all the shit coins. I really hate Dex Screener. We're gonna have to do some. I'm gonna have to figure out a website to not use Dex Screener anymore because I would like to remove Dex Screener from my life now. I want to leave this chapter behind. It's just not healthy. But there is a Jesse on base. It came out 3 hours ago. It's 1.9 cents. It does have 5 million liquidity, so this could be I don't know what this is, but it could be a nice gamble if it doesn't go to 0 and it's not a rug when Bitcoin gets the big bounce. Because at some point, Bitcoin's going to get a monster bounce, and then all these shit coins are going to do a 3x, but I don't know where that is. So we'll say bearish below 21 because it has been out only for not even a day. So I'm not going to say that I know where the top is. But if you spike up and it gets rejected at 21.6, it's bearish. If it gets over 21.6, it's bullish. And we'll keep it simple. Again, I can't really do much with the coin that just came out today. I'd say if it breaks the low, it's going to 0. Technically, you'd be able to find support here at 13. So if it goes below 13, it's going to 0. So we'll say if you could get over 21, it should be bullish for maybe a high to 37. But at any time, if it breaks this low, it should go back to 1.3. And if it breaks below 1.3, it's going to 0. And if it's a rug because the liquidity is not locked, then GG. Fucking bearish. I appreciate it too. Christopher5 says, this is the biggest bear trap in history. We're going to blast off, I think. We're almost at the bottom of this pullback. Straight up, no pullback. I appreciate the 5, man. That's awesome, man. I mean, listen, if we did go back up, it would be the biggest bear trap in history. Even though by measurements, it was technically... Well, I think by measurements, it's technically... This was literally a bear market. He went down 81% in like 2 weeks. So by measurements, this is technically the biggest bear market, but sorry, bear trap. But I think if we went up and made a new all-time high, this would be the biggest bear trap in history because all of the bull market metrics are broken. There's not one of them. I mean, obviously, if you start looking underneath your asshole, you'll find something that's bullish. But if you just look at the basic stuff, everything is bearish. So if we went back up and made a new high, you would have seen something that has never happened before. So if you want to bet that that's where we're at, I'm not going to stop you. You know, you got to do what's best for you. I would just say at some point you need to have an invalidation point just to save the money that you do have. Because there's making money, there's keeping money, and there's losing money. I've lost too much money, so I can't lose anymore. So now I got to keep money before I can make money. If you have the money to gamble, at some point you have to have a spot where it says, I have to get out. You know? So for most people, it was the 100K moving average. And I think that was fair. But now I even tried to like give the Moon Boys another level at 90 something K, and we sliced right through that. Like we're just slicing through everything. So it's like by the time everyone says it's bearish, the bottom is in, which I think we're getting there. I do think personally 80K could be the initial low. I'll talk about that in a second. But as far as this being the biggest bear trap, if we went back up and made a new all-time high, it would be, in my opinion, the biggest bear trap, yes. Because you have all your bear market indicators going off. Every time these indicators all went off, it was a bear market. So if we go back up somehow, it is the biggest bear trap, in my opinion. So I appreciate the 5 from Chris. And I hope you do well. I think if you're still holding Litecoin, you should be fine either way because it's not even going down. But I appreciate the 5, man. Lolo for 2 says Giga Chad. I appreciate the 2. Giga Chad. Yeah, I really hate these websites. There's got to... Oh, Giga Chad is on... TradingView, I think. I'm not using Dex Screener anymore. I hate that website. I'm not going to say it ruined my life because it gave me the opportunity that I would have never had, but I'm done with it. So Giga Chad had a very nice bounce, but, you know, again, it's like, oh my God, I missed the bottom. It's going to the moon. But look at how much it's gone down. You know, every time... I'm trying to train my brain to accept that the bear market is just like the bull market. It's just upside down. Every time it bounces, it's time to short it. So every time this thing bounces, it just goes down again. So I would imagine that at some point you're going to get a bottom and you're going to get a big, big retracement. But where is that? You know, that could be all the way down at 11. So in other words, you could go like this and then get a big retracement and then it goes down. Kind of like right here. You had a big retracement of 270%. So for me, if that's going to be the case, you got to see Bitcoin bottom. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this thing got nailed right at the 382 retracement. We've been talking about the 382 retracement basically since I started my YouTube channel. That shit is deadly, man. It's just like coded into the algorithm. Well, these kind of shit coins are probably heavily traded by bots. They just start selling immediately. So that's why my whole YouTube channel has been based on these rubbish ass fib tools because they're so deadly. But I would say that this coin is still bearish as long as it's below 82. If you could get over 82, you should have a big rally up to 14 and potentially 20. But even that is bearish. But that would probably be your relief rally that you were looking for. Because if I had to guess, what was this one? This one was a 0.5. And it was bearish. So you'd have to move it down to here. And then it was a 618. So it's like... if you get through this 82, you should get a big rally. But... I would be surprised if it did, because we're pretty bearish right now. So if it gets over 82, I would say bullish. Appreciate the 2. XC Crypto 4925428. Welcome to Moonboy. I appreciate that. Moonboy, that's a big one. That's an $8 one. I appreciate that a lot. Helps out a lot in times of need, like now. Helps out a lot in times of need. Thank you very much. Matthew Dropco gifted 1 sub to Crypto Prince. I appreciate that. He says, "Where's my money?" I don't think we're getting it, brother. I know you've been DCAing for a long, long time, man, and it's heartbreaking because I know you work hard and you put your money in Pitbull and Shiba and shit, and like it's heartbreaking, you know? But we just have to accept that we were wrong. And that's very hard to do. It's very hard to accept that I wasted the past however many years. But I didn't waste it because I got my YouTube channel, but like if I would have just taken my YouTube earnings and just bought Bitcoin or the S&P or anything, I would be in a better spot. But I can't play that game. So moving forward, I'm just going to do that. I've given up on the 100x old season. It's never going to happen. If it already happened 3 times and I missed 3 of them. So I just have to accept that I'm not going to be a millionaire, but that doesn't mean I have to be poor. I can have a good life. And the hard part is accepting it at first. So for you, I know you keep holding these coins. I don't think they're going back up, man. Like I actually think Shiba is unless an ETH whale pumps this shit up for an exit scam. I don't even know if you have Shiba, but I mean, I think Shiba is going to actually break this level. I think Shiba is forecasting what Doge is about to do, personally. Because Doge is up here and Shiba's down here. See? They both have big-ass wicks. It's just Shiba already went down to fill it. And Doge did not. But I appreciate the sub, man. I appreciate the sub. CyberCurge for 1 month says Ziggy on Soul. I appreciate the sub, man. Ziggy on Soul. 2 billion market cap? What is this? Yeah, but this CoinGecko website sucks, man. Deck Screener is the only thing that's trust. I just hate this website because it's just so unhealthy. Ziggy. Is this the same coin? Nah, it's not even the same coin. Alright, so this is another rug, it looks like. I mean, I could see why you would gamble. It looks like it's trying to find support at the gamble station, but it's bearish. So I would say if it falls below 65, it's actually going into retirement. And it's going to crash down to 44. So if you want to gamble at 65, that's up to you. Below 65 is bearish. And I would say the 382 retracement is 12. So as long as it's below 12, it is bearish. So below 12 is bearish. Above 12 is bullish. If it falls below 65, it's going to 0. I appreciate the sub. Major General Tao. Sounds like General Chow's chicken. I appreciate the sub, man. Kiddo for 19 months, Moonboy. Have you been a Moonboy for 19 months? No. I don't even think I had it that long. But I appreciate the sub, man. I appreciate the sub, man. That's awesome. I appreciate the sub. Oh, Kentaro received it. Is Kentaro in the chat? He might be lurking in the background. Romario for 3 says ETH monthly chart bullish. Who buys this chart? I appreciate the 3. The ETH. Yo, chat, please. Chat, every time I click off the fucking chart, it's making another low. Stop. Listen, this is not normal selling, okay? Dude, okay, look, even in this correction, you had a bunch of green candles. We're going straight down. I understand we were bullish here. I didn't think it was a bear market here. Here I said, oh my God, how could it be a bear market if we just had the halving? It can't be. Here was the first time I thought it was a bear market, potentially, but even I flipped bullish because I noticed, yo, we never broke the moving average. So it's like every time we've come to this point, it's bounced, not a bear market. We're not only are we through the bull market support, there's just no bounce. It's just going straight down. So the next 8-day candle, if it goes down to 80K, then everyone is going to say it's the bottom, and it probably will be. But we're just there. Look at all these red candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's when was the last time that happened? 2022, baby. There's no ETH bullish monthly candle. ETH broke my super trend. And we said every time ETH breaks a super trend, it falls by 10 to 20%. So right now we're down 8%. We got another 5 to 10% to go. There's no ETH monthly bullish chart. I don't even know. I don't know what to say. The moving average at 2,500? Yeah, we'll probably bottom there, and then we'll get a big bounce, and then everyone will say it's bullish. You should bounce at 2,500. If it doesn't, then it's going to go all the way back to 2,000. I don't think we're just going to go straight down. I don't think we're going to go straight down to here. If we go straight back to 1,700, we're screwed, man. Because then ETH is going to come back to $900 at some point. But I don't know. What do you mean monthly bullish chart? It looks like a candy cane. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. ETH monthly chart. It looks like every time it goes over 4K, everyone runs for the door. But we broke. Can you even make a bullish argument for Ethereum? No, you're inside the Gaussian channel. Dude, this Gaussian channel, at first I didn't understand it, but it's like every time pretty much you fall into it, you usually come out the other side. Not always, but most of the time. So I think at some point we have to go down to $2,000. I just hope it's not now. So I appreciate the two, but I'm not sure what you're asking me. Bullish on the monthly? No. We've been going down for how many consecutive weeks, brother? Brother. Again, you could argue that's what happened here, but Bitcoin didn't break the support. Now it's through the support. Frankie T for 10. Oh, the usernames are back. The what do you call it? Like the usernames, the ats. Are ETFs? I appreciate the 10, man. Are ETFs and Clarity Act not going to delay the start of the bear market in your opinion? Thanks and cheers. I appreciate the 10. I don't even know what that is. ETFs and Clarity Act? I don't know what that is. But I've never cared about any of that stuff. Never. You know? Like in 2023, we said the top is going to be when all the good news comes out. And unfortunately, it was when Michael Saylor had a party at 100K Bitcoin and Trump launched a meme coin and all of that. Like that was the true euphoria top, which you could even argue was earlier than that. But I don't even know what the news is. I don't know. I don't even know what that is, brother. Brother. Clarity Act. Sounds like something you'd pass for legislation when you need to pay back your ancestors, the Clarity Act. But I don't think you can delay the start of the bear market because we're already through all bull market support. So by definition, the bear market would have started here. So you can't delay something that already happened, you know? I mean, chat, we're getting our first red candle, man. This is no joke. You have not had a red candle since 2023. And the last time you went from green to red was 2022, and the bottom was coming. So I do think we're going to get a bottom soon, but I just don't know where it is. But like I said, man, every time we bounce, everybody gets nervous, myself included. I'm not trying to act like a trader. Like, I get nervous too because I don't want it to go back up now. But every time we bounce, it just makes another low. So it's like all these people just keep saying the bottom is in, the bottom is in, the bottom is in. Like, yo, minus 10%, minus 10%, minus 10%. At some point, the bottom is going to be in because it's going down too much now. And once you get this, you get the bounce, and then it's like, I told you the bottom was in. And you are going to get a very big bounce on the altcoins. There's no question. But I'm not even, like, when I wasn't even holding altcoins. I was holding, like, scams. And most people are holding scams. So, like, how low does the scam go before it bounces? And unfortunately, my brain never registered, like, brother, you need to get out. And then it did when we had that big ass wick. But then I don't even know what happened, dude. I just started losing so much money so fast just buying scams, and it was just a nightmare. So now I'm out of the scam world. That's why I don't want to look at this shitty website anymore. But at some point we will bottom and get a big bounce. But the question is, do we come all the way down here first? Which it looks like that's what could be happening. So to answer your question, will the ETFs delay the bear market? I think we have enough evidence to suggest that we're already in a bear market. In my opinion, at least. I'm not going to pretend to be a know-it-all expert like I'm not, you know? Like someone said in the chat the other day, why should we trust you? I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't care what you do. I'm just saying, for me personally, I can't lose any more money. So I would rather wait till Bitcoin gets over the all-time high, and then I'll say, all right, I missed some money on the table, but that's okay. Or I just do nothing and watch the shit go to zero. Because I'll tell you this, the coins go a lot lower than people think. And I think it should scare people, the fact that we've been going this low and there's not even anything happening. Like, normally you have some shit brewing in the news. We're not getting anything. So that tells me that this is actually someone on Twitter said this is unnatural selling. I think it's natural selling. I think the unnatural shit is when you get the giant liquidation candles. This is just people getting out. So there's no big ass wicks. But I think it's possible that you could get a big wick and that would mark the low. But I'm not sure what it's going to look like, you know? Like this big ass wick marked a low. The big ass wick in 2028, I don't know why I always say that, marked a low here. At least a local low. This a big wick. This a big wick. We don't have a big wick, so it doesn't have to happen. But yeah, kind of like this, but just another one. But I mean, at some point we're gonna bounce, and when we bounce out of this, like that's when you'll see a big relief rally. But I think if it is a true bear market, we actually shouldn't go back over the bull market support. Which is why we might, that could be why we're still going down, because at some point we are going to get a big bounce, but historically you don't get back over what is always bullish. Once it turns bearish, that's it. Like, yeah, you got over the moving average, but you didn't get over the channel. That's why I'm using both of them together, because I think using just one indicator is no good. You see how we broke 45K and we never got back over both of them. If we bounced right now, you could still get back over both of them. And then you would have the biggest bear trap in history because this has never happened before. But that could be why it's not bouncing. Because when the bounce, if we do go down to 80K, then when you get the big ass bounce, you could come all the way back to 100K and we still wouldn't be into the bull run zone, and then it would roll over again. I think that's what's happening. And I think that's why I'm personally glad it's happening this way. Because if we would have went back up to 108, if we would have went back up to like 105, I probably would have FOMO'd back in. That's why I kept saying I hope we just go down. Because now it's so low that it's like even if it bounces, you could go back to 100K and it's like the bull market is all the way up here. I mean, this will happen at some point and a lot of people will FOMO back in. And then if this rolls over, this was your last chance to get out like forever. Because once we get the real, I don't think the scary part started yet. So in my opinion, again, I'm just brainstorming. I'm not an analyst. I'm not a trader. I'm just another schmuck with pajama pants on. Listen, I mean, you could see like the initial bull run wasn't really that cool. It was this where it was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This was where everyone made money, myself included. So we're here if we're in a bear market. You're just getting consecutive red candles. It's going down slowly. Most people already lost their money because the old coins have been going down. But you haven't really seen like, oh my God. I mean, it happened when it first started. I remember I was in the woods running and I was like, holy shit, this is my worst nightmare. I just went through my worst nightmare. And here I am. But you haven't gotten that yet. So everyone is still kind of on the fence. Like, is it bearish or can we still go back up? It's just like right here. I remember back here, everyone was like, could we still go down again? Even the big YouTubers were saying that we're in 2019 and we're going to go down because that's what happened last time. And then we just shot up. By the time everyone reaches that point where it's like, can we go up or can we go down? You're going to be in something like this. And then the next move is where it's like, holy shit. Like, you remember when we got this and everyone was like, oh my God, oh my God. Or this. We didn't get that yet for the bearishness because it just started. That's not going to happen for a while, which is why the people that are still gambling, they still could make money because I'm looking at the shit coins on Deck Screener and they're still bullish somehow. Like, I'm shocked, but I guess that's just a casino. Remember that Wojak coin we were talking about with the hat, bullish degen? That shit just went up again. So obviously, if you're gambling in the casino, you know, some people are still making money. It's just I can't do it. I know I would rather save my money for something that's guaranteed than maybe make money or most likely lose it. So if you're gambling on Deck Screener, you're probably going to do very well on this bounce because at some point we will get a bounce. Where do I think the bounce is? Well, I got a couple more super chats. 300 bogeys in the chat. That is what's up, chat. We got more viewers now than the whole bull market. Sad. Right? All summer we had 170 viewers. Now we're pulling 200 viewers every single day. That's how you know it's fucked. Sorry if my microphone is too loud. I was gonna look at something. Oh, I was gonna look at I missed the super chats, I think. So yeah, I appreciate the 10 from Frankie. Major General Chow for 2. May I please get your take on S-Bit? Kiddo for 2 says Moonboy the whole time. Really, I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Happy Goyam, new member, BTC Whale. I appreciate that. Robert DeVal for 2 says Future Pizza Party Fund. I appreciate the 2. You know what's funny? I thought about that today. I was never going to have a pizza party. That's sad. But it was a nice idea. But I appreciate the 2. Claire, thoughts on S-Bit? That sounds familiar. That's the Bitcoin short, right? Yeah, it could be a good hold. honestly. I mean, I wouldn't hold it forever because it's more of a no, this is a 2x leverage. This is a leveraged product. This is a trading device. This is not a hodl device. Because if Bitcoin bounces 10%, this is going to go down 20%. Then if Bitcoin bounces again and doesn't go anywhere, like if Bitcoin just keeps bouncing in the same spot, this is actually going to go down. I'm pretty sure. This is a trading device. This is not a hodling device. But this is going to be a very useful instrument because I have a lot to show you guys, even though we're already 40 minutes in. But this could be a very good device for us. I should have this. Yeah, I do have it on my watch list. So in other words, when Bitcoin falls by 40 to 50%, this is going to go up 100%, just as you can see it is right now. And then if you're a real sicko, you would try and buy this before we crash and then flip to the other one that's like the long one at the bottom. And then you get another 2x. But I like it. If you're a trader, it's a good instrument. It's definitely not something you hodl though. Because if Bitcoin bounces by 30%, this thing makes a new low. So it's definitely not a hodl instrument. It's a tool for trades. Because think about it. If Bitcoin falls another 10%, then that thing goes up 20%. But then if Bitcoin bounces by 25% from that point, that shit goes down 50%. So even though Bitcoin isn't even close to the high, that thing might go down by 50%. Well, it will. So, yeah. But I like it. It's going to be a tool that I use for sure. Because I understand it genuinely in the back of my head. It's still always asking, is it possible we go back up? Like I am a moon boy, so I understand. But my brain sees everything is breaking, so I already faded it last time. I can't fade it a second time. Third time, actually. But there are so many instruments to use to let you know that it's about to go straight down. And for example, one of them would be this channel. Every time this thing flashes red, it means we're about to go down for the bottom. So that S-bit could be a very good instrument because every time in NBA history this thing flashed red, this went down 50%, this went down 50%, this went down 50%. So it's like if that S-bit went up 80%, went up 100%, went up 100%, it's almost like a free 2x because there's no pullback. It just goes straight down and it marks the bottom. So it's like technically if you're a sicko, you would try and buy that and then flip long on the other one. But that's a whole nother story. We're not talking about that. But this is just a rough draft. I'm not saying it has to happen, but I do like S-bit, yes. But the reason why I think 80K could be the bottom is because you've never broken the channel on the first try. So I would be shocked if we just break 80K. And you can see there's going to be a lot of buyers here too. I mean, we could wick through it, but the candle would close above 80K if it did go down that low. So what I would like to see is we go down to 80K. We just float around for a couple months. That's when everyone is going to leave. And that's where the channel essentially dies. But I'll be okay with that because I'll have enough money saved up. And I know after that, it's capitulation time and then the bottom's in. So I just need to make it to March. So I need you guys to stay here until March. So you need to put me into your schedule. I usually stream at the latest 3 p.m. The earliest is 12 p.m. So after March, you can leave, but you're gonna have to report for duty for the next 4 months. Because you can see every time we come to this level, I don't know what it's gonna look like, but you get this like chop. This doesn't even feel that long ago, right? We remember this? Remember March of 2022, April's bullish, then we went straight down. This was ages ago. I'm not even the same person. I didn't even have a beard. It was like but again, you just did nothing for months. But this is going to be a very exciting time for me because it's going to be the summertime and I'm going to know my time to shine is coming. That's why I would hope we go down to 80K. We do nothing until here. And then the Gaussian channel flips red. And then from April to October, it's just so bearish. It's like suffocating. Because this is 168 days. This is I actually didn't do that on purpose, chat. You saw I did that in real time. This thing turned red and 160 days later the bottom was in. Well, technically the bottom was here. It's 175. This thing flashed red. The bottom was in much faster, but you didn't go up for another 140 days. This flashed red. The bottom was in 28 days later, but again, 240 days later, the bull run started. So somewhere in here should be where it's so bearish that it's like there's just no buyers. It just goes straight down. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But we will know it's going to happen if we get stuck here and we just do nothing. Because the thing is, if we go down here at 80K and then bottom, there's going to be people saying, see, we can still go up. Which if you just V recovery right back up, then you're right. But if it's St. Patrick's Day and you're still down here, you know it's fucked. And that's when I would make my move. I made my move. Check the king. That's especially if we get this, because this is what I said the other day. When we got this red indicator, that's also when the tether capitulated. Look, May of 2022. So we're gonna have so much time to plan for the move. I made my move. Check the king. So I'm ready. I just gotta survive till March. I already have my plan, hopefully, for the next year. All right, my number one goal right now, don't lose any more money. Plan for this, because if I can make some money on here, we don't know how low the coins are going to go. Like, genuine question, chat. Would you buy Solana if it went all the way down to $40? Doesn't even sound reasonable, right? But this is a Big Bang Theory sized meteor right here. Head and shoulders. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. We have the head and the shoulders. The knee is down here and the toes are down here. So we gotta... You don't think Solana can come all the way back down to $40? When we just did something similar here? Here's the shoulder, here's the head. Here's the shoulder. Straight down. Then it went straight down a second time. I don't think we're going to get this second leg down because there's no FTX. What is the hype platform built on? Every time I go on Twitter, it says new hyperwhale. Whatever that shit's built on might nuke. But Solana began its death note when the Gaussian channel flashed red. So when that Gaussian channel flashes red, if you're not going to be shorting, which I don't even know I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to be long. If you're long when the Gaussian channel flashes red, just, I don't know, just do something else with your life, you know? Like, and it's not an insult, but like, I'm saying it as a joke because there's a 100% chance it goes down 50%. And every time this shit flashes red, something just nukes. In 2018, it was Ethereum. That's my point. Bitcoin flashed red in October, and it didn't crash until October. Ethereum started nuking 2 months in advance, chat. July. I remember this day. Everyone on Twitter was talking about like, oh, they're nuking Ethereum, but everything nuked. But this thing started going down in July, and Bitcoin didn't go down until October. So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna hold Ethereum. You could lose everything. And you didn't even get your money back here until 3 years later, almost 2 years. June to November 2018, 2020. So I'm not going to know what it's going to look like. And how do we know? Because you have to watch your favorite YouTuber. Genuinely, chat, there's a lot of good YouTubers out there that like are good with the price predictions and shit. I don't do any of that. Who's to say Ethereum doesn't break $1,000? Like, why can't it? I know you don't want it to, but why can't it? Because we didn't want it to squeak by the all-time high by a third of a hair, but it did. So why can't it break the low? And I know Mr. Cohen is very smart, and he's saying that ETH BTC can bottom in December, but what if it doesn't? What if the selling is so intense that ETH BTC just nukes by 20%? And then Bitcoin nukes by 50%. Now you're down 70% on Ethereum. That puts you all the way back at the low. Like, I'm not even trying to FUD post, but if ETH BTC, even if his theory is true and ETH BTC makes a higher low and Bitcoin goes down to 50K, yo, ETH would fall by 60%. It's, oh my God, dude. Ay, caramba. Ay, papi. Ay, papi. I appreciate the two from Major General Tao. Yeah, for trading. Yeah, S-Bit is going to be nice, man. Romario for two says if you had 300K, would you only go Bitcoin? I appreciate the two. If I had 300K, I would probably wait till December, put 200K on Bitcoin, and gamble 100K. Fuck it. If I had 300K in cash right now, I'd be sitting all cash. I'd be go traveling around, coming back in Q4 of 2020. I would probably come back at the end of the summer, actually. Then yeah, I would put buy orders for Bitcoin between 40 and 50K, and then I would have 100K on the side, probably for Solana. But unfortunately, I don't have 300K. There was a time, but not anymore. So now I have to start all over again. But I am okay with starting all over again because I did it once before and I have more money than I had last time. So now I have a higher starting ground. So I'll be all right in the long run, I think. I'm never going to be rich. But once you swallow that pill, it becomes less stressful. Like certain things I'm never going to do. I had a chance to be rich and it passed. It doesn't mean I have to be poor. You know, there was a time where I was poor, like nothing. I never want to go back to that. And I promised myself that I wouldn't. So if I don't short, at least I'm not losing money. Because there will be another bull run. There's always some jackass that says it's over forever, and then all of a sudden we just go back up. So for some things there won't be a bull run, but I'm giving up this whole hodl shit. Hodling ruined my life, bro. If you're buying Bitcoin, sure. If you're buying anything other than Bitcoin or SPY, hodling is not going to work. Dude, if ETH breaks this low, it's going to be really bad. You know how many people are going to sell? Where's the bottom? And like just me saying that is ultra bearish, but I'm looking at it from a trader's perspective now, not a crypto perspective. This is a 80% drawdown, which sounds like that should be the bottom. And maybe it is. Maybe it's a double bottom. But again, if ETH BTC capitulates by 20% and then Bitcoin capitulates by 40% to 47K, that's That's a 60% drop. That's $1,000. How do we know the ETH BTC doesn't go back down to the low at 40%? Like, what if this is this? You got your big ass spike, and now it's about to take a shit on the back of the bus. You took a shit on the back of the bus. Nah, that's too bearish. That's too bearish. You took a shit on the back of the bus. Caden perspective for two says hypothetically, what entry would you short sand? I appreciate the two. Yeah, see, I'm not a trader, so I'm not gonna give you guys short entries and whatnot. You're gonna have to find a better YouTuber than me. You can't short something that has no fucking resistance. It just keeps going down. The time to short it realistically was the 382 retracement. And that was it. You didn't even get a chance to get back in because it never came back up. That's why I'm focusing on time, not price. I'm not a trader, so I can't do the intraday shit, but I understand that I made all my money by trading, but I traded when the odds were in my favor. Right now, I'm assuming you're going to trade on leverage. So it's like, I'm not going to tell you to go short, then this thing bounces, you get liquidated, and then it goes down. But unfortunately, sand, you can't really do anything because it's at the bottom, you know? Technically, the short would have been at the 382 retracement at 20 cents. You might have gone underwater for a little bit, but then you were in profit almost immediately. Now, if you want to wait for a bounce, the next opportunity to short would be $18. But I don't know if it's going to break through or not. But if it doesn't, that would be the entry. And if it doesn't come back up, then you missed it. Because like again, I'm not a trader. There's like rules you have to follow to be a successful trader. So I can't give you an entry for a trade because I'm not a trader. But yeah, so I'm sorry I can't help you with that. Because at some point we're going to get a big bounce too. So it's like you go short and then it's right here or here. And then it explodes and then you get liquidated. Which could be what we're doing. Like I think if we go down to 80K in December, that's the bottom. And then January, February, March should be bullish. Like not bullish the way you're thinking, but like bullish like this. So that would be the next time to short. But I can't really help you there, yeah. I'm sorry. But if I were gonna short sand, I would wait for a bounce. And if it just free falls, so be it. I'm not gonna go short at support, you know. And then if it bounces, then I get liquidated and then it goes down. Or even higher, like here. You could bounce all the way to 24 and still be bearish. Or 204, sorry. Because you still form a lower high. So trading on leverage is just another form of fucking casino. It's just I prefer not to use it because I always lose. But I appreciate the two, man. Hope that helps. Nolan talks about the bearish divergence on the monthly. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the RSI on the large time frames. It works, but like, I mean, dude, once I saw that XRP chart, I just gave up. Remember when I showed you the XRP chart the other day? I was like, bro, come on. There's no way you guys are, not you guys specifically, but just in general. Like, there's no way you could come on here and say you got to get in before you miss the bull run. I think it was this. You know what I mean? Like, come on, chat. Oh my God, you're gonna miss the bull run. Oh my God, there's three of them. It's the same thing as Bitcoin. There's like, once XRP gets over 225, everyone just starts selling. It's only a matter of time before the shit takes a shit on the back of the bus. But the altcoins are holding up well. but that doesn't mean they won't go down. I think it's going to be like 2022 where they hold up for the longest time and then they finally go down at the end. Like XRP's been holding up for so long, just like back here, and then it finally died. That's why I think Chris should be in a good spot, because Litecoin is doing the same thing. I think if Chris can get a scam pump one more time, he should be fine. But if Bitcoin goes down to 40K, there's no way Litecoin doesn't go back down to 40 bucks. Because this is a 3-year bear flag. And it's like, guess where the top was? I told you this yesterday. It was right at the 618 retracement. So it's like, technically that is the most bearish thing you could even see. So the bear flag would be confirmed below 67, which is what happened to Doge. We didn't want to accept that it was a bear flag, but Doge did the same thing. It hit the 618 perfectly and then fell off the table. This is extremely bearish, which is why I said once we break 100K, I'm not bullish anymore because it's a bear flag. But Doge is doing the same thing. It's holding up very well, just like last time. But once Bitcoin loses its footing, then Doge will finally break down. But I do think the fact that Doge is holding up, there's an increased probability that this is the bottom. But I'm not a trader, so I don't know where the bottom is. But if I had to guess, I think 5 cents is fair. Because Bitcoin Cash did the same thing in 2017, where it hit the 786, came back to the pig at the low, and that was it. I don't know. I wonder what Bitcoin Cash is going to do. It's holding up very well. It's possible that it just crashes like this, and then it goes back up. Is this another 618 retracement? Oof. Best. Is it? Are you getting monthly closes? Oh no, it's actually it's kind of all over the place. Is it a 382 retracement? No. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what's gonna happen with Bitcoin Cash. That's such weird structure. It keeps going above, then below, then above, then below. I guess I wouldn't want to find out. I hope Brycast takes some money off the table, man. I think he's got like 600 Bitcoin Cash. I hope he doesn't ride it all the way back down, man. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, Bitcoin Cash is another example. Remember when I told you before that Bitcoin didn't capitulate until October of 2018? Bitcoin Cash topped in May and it went straight down. There was no bounce, chat. I'm telling you, there's going to be one big bounce and then that's it. That bounce, if you can time the bounce, you're going to make a lot of money. Because even in 2022, I made a lot of money. And even in the bounce that we just had, a lot of us made a lot of money back, but we thought it was a bull market, but it wasn't. Even though Bitcoin made a new all-time high, how many coins didn't? Almost all of them. So nobody got out. That's why crypto is not what it once was. That's why hodling is dead unless you're buying Bitcoin. Because, like, your shit could top out immediately. Like, look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look at the people that hodled INJ, man. Which this is another example of... There's just so much to talk about, and there's plenty of time. But this coin bottomed, and then it just vertical. 1 year later, you're on the moon. But the bear market started in February of 2024. This coin has been in a bear market for 2 years already. So it's like, imagine seeing it up here and thinking that it's still got another year for a bull run and now is the top. That's the thought that we all get all the time. And it's the second time it happened. This coin topped in April, but the top was in November. So next time, I'm doing it money-wise. I'm not doing it shit coins. However much money I have is what I have. I'm tired of putting in, oh, well, if I put in 10K and I get a 20X, I'll have 200,000. No, I'm not doing that shit anymore. There's no such thing as a 20X. Because by the time you get it, that was the old season, but we're gonna be in some weird ass year like 2027, and it's like, oh, we still got 2 more years of the bull run, but the fucking coin goes down back to zero. You know, like it's sad. Imagine holding Shiba for fucking 4 years just to get rinsed. It's just crypto is a sad story, man. It is. It's such an opportunity. It's such a lucrative opportunity, but like most people just ruin their lives. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that ruin their lives, but for me, like I said, that's just because I played my cards wrong. It's not crypto's fault. I had so many chances. I just blew every single one of them. That's why moving forward, I'm done with the deck screener. I'm done with old season. I'm gonna find a plan, make my plan, execute my plan, and that's it. Because I'll give myself a break. Every time I have an initial plan, it always works. Like in 2018, I told myself, no matter what, save up your money and get 1,000 Ethereum Classic. I told myself in 2018, just save your money and get Ethereum Classic. And I shit you not, even if I would have bought in right here and did nothing, I would have got so much money, man. But of course, I changed my plan and I just started doing bullshit and I ended up with nothing. Then in 2022, I said to myself, just buy Floki. All right. We're not doing anything crazy. Just buy and hold Floki. I bought Floki the very bottom, chat. Once Bitcoin printed the Pi cycle bottom, I put all my money on Floki, which is $1 million right here. I shit you not. It's 350,000 times 3, so 1.05. So that's 2 times at the bear market bottom. My initial plan would have worked, but I just started clicking buttons and doing bullshit. So this time I'm making a new plan and I'm going to stick to it no matter what. And I think in the long run, I should be okay. Because it's the reason why I never make it is because I don't stick to my plan and then I start buying shit like this, Ziggy, and then I get rugged and then it goes to zero. So I have a whole 12 months to make my plan, but it's already in development. It's in the beta stage. I gotta open beta. No, it's actually in the alpha stage. How does it go? Alpha, beta, and then they closed it, and then they released the game. It's the alpha stage right now. I got the characters drawn out, but there's no coding yet. Romario for 5 says Bitcoin daily is oversold. Can I make a retracement for a few days to allow coins like Doge to bounce? How high can it go if it happens? I appreciate the 5. Yeah, listen, don't listen to the propaganda that the RSI is oversold. That doesn't mean anything. When it's not even oversold. Oh wait, sorry, I'm on the wrong time frame. I think it is oversold. Yeah, so we're starting to get there, but I think this is the biggest indicator that it's getting really bearish. If we break the low from February, I think that's the biggest confirmation that it's over. But remember, in 2022, we were oversold for a very long time. We were oversold in January and then oversold again in January. But look at how low we went. In this little ass window, we fell by 20%. When you're oversold, it's bearish. But you are getting close to a bounce. But the problem is, if it's a bear market, the lower it goes, the more bearish it is. And I think that's why you're not seeing a bounce, because the big move down is about to come. And everyone's already in because they're waiting for the bounce. But the bounce is not going to come until everyone gets liquidated. That's why I'm telling you right now, Chad, if we see a big giant sausage candle like this, you better fucking run for the hills. Because we haven't gotten this yet. And that wasn't even the bottom. This was the bottom. But this was a month of chop. And the thing that's scary is look at the date. December 1st of 2021. The top was in November. If our top is in October, then that means it's shifted over, which means this is the top and we're right here. So at any moment, it's gonna say breaking Trump shot. So I'm not. No, I'm not. It's not gonna say that. Something's gonna come out and it's just gonna go straight down, and everyone's gonna be like, "Holy shit! Your computer's not gonna turn on. It's coming, bro. I can smell it." And then the bottom is in, and then you get a big bounce. So this is bullish in the short term when the bounce comes, but it's still bearish. Like if I had to guess in 2 months, the RSI is probably back up here. But anyone that keeps throwing in their money trying to get the bottom is just going to get hosed. Because we're about to break the low from last in springtime. Which at face value, that should be bullish. The problem is you're already below every single bull market support. Dude, the weekly RSI is almost oversold, brother. But here's the thing, dude. Everything has shifted over. This RSI was oversold, and it wasn't even the bottom. So I think when the RSI gets to oversold, it's not even going to be the bottom. Everything is like shifted over for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because of my Moonboy theory, but because like I look at where the shit tops and it's always around the Moonboy chart. March of 2024, January of 2021. There's definitely something there. It's not like it was a total whiff, because like literally after our Moonboy chart ended, it just got so hard to make money for everyone except for Bitcoin holders. So I wonder, but the problem is the next Moonboy chart is in March. I don't think we're going to hit oversold by March. We're going to get a big bounce first. But I wonder what happens in August. This is where it's going to be. Well, the chart overall is invalidated, so I'm not going to run around pushing it anymore. But I am curious to see what's going to happen between March and August. Because August is supposed to be bullish. So maybe we get this again. I could see this happening, where August is bullish, and then it's bearish from September all the way down to the bottom. I could see it happening kind of like this. And then the bull run starts in December. I think December is the deadline for to buy in. Because I posted a chart in the Discord. I think I got rid of it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this chart, and this isn't like my special chart. This is, if anything, it's the people who said the top was in October. But we've done this before for the other market cycles. But this chart says that March is the crash, and then March is almost the crash, but the crash is in April. And then this chart says the bottom's in October. This chart says the bottom's in September. This chart says the bottom's in September. All three charts say you turn bullish in December. So could we turn bullish in January? Sure. So I would say for me, I got to be all in by December of 2026, because that's when the bull run starts. But you can see we're following all three market cycles, man. And all three of them say there should be a big bounce in January or December or March, or not March, sorry, February, like somewhere in there. And that's why I think the Gaussian channel is going to turn red in April, and that's when I strike. Because when the Gaussian channel turns red, it's time to strike, like Randy Orton. And then it's over. And then the bear market's, it's not over, but like the damage is done. So I got to make my plan. I got plenty of time. I'm not in a rush. Right now, my plan is in the baby stages, but there's no rush. But I appreciate the 2 from Romario. Wherever the bottom is, I don't know. You'll have to ask your favorite YouTuber because they know where everything is. But I'm pretty sure there's instruments to use to see where the top is. I think I had it once on one of my videos. Like, what I like to do is look for things that always happen. I'll have to look. I'm not sure where the bounce is. Is there a moving average that we can use? Oh wait, I think there is actually. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's the same moving average that's bullish. So, all right, so here's what I will say. I don't know where the bottom is and I don't know where the bounce is. But what I will say is this. If we crash the 80K and then stop, that should be the bottom. And then the bounce should be to this moving average. Right back up to 96K. And then the Gaussian channel turns red and we go down for the bottom. I think it looks exactly like this. Well, it's not going to look exactly the same, but like the idea here is you come back to the moving average again. And when you come back to the moving average, if the Gaussian channel turns red, that's the time to strike. So I don't know where the bounce is and I don't know where the bounce starts, but I would argue that if we do not bounce right now and we do go down to 80K, that should be where the bounce is. And if it isn't, then the bottom might be like 25,000. Because I'm not a trader, but there's a lot of volume here in March. And there's also a lot of volume here too, which is like right above. So like 70 to 80K. I mean, maybe we wick down to 70K, but it would look like this. Like a big giant wick of like 10%. And then this moving average would curl down. And then we would bounce to it. And then if we get rejected, then the Gaussian channel turns red. And then it goes down. But I know a lot of people just do it on accident where it's just a bear flag, but it's not always a bear flag. The reality is we don't know what it's going to look like. But we will know what the end result is if we come down here and we just spend 3 months in this area. Because like you were down here for not even a month. Like March, you were down here. By April, you were going back up. If we're at 90K in November and it's January and we're still at 90K and it's February and we're still at 90K, like that's probably it. I mean, just look at MicroStrategy. Every single day, it just makes another low. That's not bullish, man. Even MicroStrategy bottomed. When Bitcoin bottomed in March, MicroStrategy put a triple bottom in. This shit is going straight down. And it's not even going straight down yet. Straight down is when it's actually going straight down. Like Lord Narwhal edited the coding so where he just deletes the support out of the system and it just goes straight down like this. It just starts gapping to the downside. We have not gotten there yet. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't look at MicroStrategy and say, oh my God, I can't wait to go to the moon. It's fucked. Especially if you take it off a log. Oh my God. Oh my God. I shouldn't have done that. You guys are going to tell me that we're still bullish? I would never buy that. And I can't, and the problem is I did buy this shit on Deck Screener. Because in my sick ass head, oh well, Bitcoin is going to have a mania phase and we're going to make all this money. But now that Bitcoin broke all the support, it's easier not to buy this, which is why it's so sad, because it's like we know what we're not supposed to do, but the rules of the bull run were still in play. It's just we never got off season. Now that the bull run has been invalidated, or all of the support rather has been invalidated, it's so much easier not to hold anything. But it sucks that it took losing so much before we got to that point. So now I know the rules have changed. And then Nanengoyen will say they'll change it again. But I'm okay with that because they changed it this time and we made all that money. We just didn't keep it. Now we know the next time we make the money, the rules have changed. So don't look at the last market cycle and say, well, what happened? Because that's what we did all bull run. We said, well, when we got to this point, this is what happened. But it changes every time. Like if you looked at this and said, well, alt season happens here, it didn't happen this time. And if you look at alt season here and look at what happened here, it didn't happen this time. So then the argument is, well, why are we doing that for the bear scenario? Because for the bear scenario, it never changes and it never has. They only change the bullish one because everyone never makes any money, but they don't change the bearish one because nobody ever listens and it's just bearish. You know? But I wanted to share something with you. I think Ben Cohen posted this a long time ago. He posted something about an ADX. I don't even know what that is, but I was looking at this indicator, the DMI, and it has something, I think it has the same indicator. It's called the ADX. I don't know what this is, but the ADX topped in March of 2024, and that's why it's been so hard to make money. You know? And look, like it topped in 2021 too, and it was very hard to make money after this. And even here it topped the first time. So what we need to do for the next bull run is find out when this thing goes vertical. That's the time to get in. September of 2023. Same thing here. July of 2020. This one was October of 2016. So now people are saying, oh, look, it's right now. Which maybe it is for a short bounce. That's why when we get the bounce, you could get a big relief on altcoins. There will be some type of relief at some point. But the question is, how do you know it doesn't do one of these? That's the problem. Where it just keeps bouncing and making lower lows. But you can't even say that. Oh my God, you can't even say that because look, chat. This thing went up and we went straight down to the abyss. Dude, I'm telling you, how do we know that this curling up is not that? Right there. It could be. It just signals something is coming. But in a bull market, you want to see it go up. Yo, I'm telling you, man, how do you know that we're not right here? This is about to nuke. But I think we could be here. I think this is more realistic. I think you're going to get a big bounce on the altcoins. The problem is, where's the bottom? And I don't know. You're going to have to ask your favorite YouTuber. But I don't want to gamble in the casino anymore. I lost too much money. Cyber Curd for 2. I appreciate the 2. I appreciate the 2. Casper is up 18%. Did Casper go down 80% before it went up or no? Bro, you got me. You got me. I give you credit. I still fall for that shit. This coin has been going down for 4 consecutive years. You got me though. I'll give it to you. Am I a metal detectorist? My 2 biggest holdings is Crow and Clash. Dogelon will make us millionaires. Unfortunately, I'll never be a millionaire, man. Yeah, the tether dominance just broke right through too. Yeah, I'd rather just not lose any money, man. Like, I gotta stick to my plan. That's why I don't like Dex Screener. Because my plan says just do nothing until April. And I know once we get the bounce, it's gonna be like, oh my God, I gotta get in. But I just gotta remain calm. At some point, the bottom will be in. But I mean, chat, every time we bounce, the bottom is in, right? Remember back here, the bottom was in. And then back here, the bottom was in. And then yesterday the bottom was in. Now the bottom's in again today. Every time I come on my live stream, the price is lower than it was the previous live stream. And it's been like that for the last month. We just didn't notice it until here. You might be a millionaire if you hold one Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin's ever going to hit $1 million. You need four or five Bitcoin to be a millionaire if you're only holding Bitcoin. Oh yeah, did you see today's video on the DXY? I guess my content's not totally useless, but yeah, the DXY is trying to poke into the channel. Last time that happened was 2024 and 2021 and 2018. But if you look at it from the lens of how far you've spent from the, or how long you've been under the channel, you can't use 2024. You got to use this and this and maybe this too. What happened in 2011? Yo, chat, even this was the top. Oh man. Yeah, it's gonna get bad, dude. The top was already in 2018. And then in 2021, the top wasn't in until you broke through. People are asking whether you sold. If it hits 1 million, even more people will be eating cats. It's not mathematically possible to hit 1 million. It's not. Maybe this bull run I'll change my whole... Maybe it's time. I think it's time, man. My heart can't handle the fucking gambling anymore. It's time for me to rebrand. I'm just gonna be a Bitcoin investor. You know? It was a good run. I went on a generational run. I did. I'm telling you, I had no money and I just had all this money. And then I went back to no money. No, I don't have no money this time, but it's because your brain doesn't know what to do with all the money, so you just assume, that's why most people don't keep their money. But I learned my lesson last time. Don't lose all your money. Oh shit, the bottom's in again, chat. Rip to everyone who sold. That's what we said yesterday. Now we're down here. So tomorrow it's gonna be even lower. At some point it's gonna bounce, but I'm surprised at how well Solana's holding up. That's what you say now, but the reality is it already nuked 50%. That's why it's holding up so good. Because it already went down. I know for sure it's not going to happen. What's not going to happen? Look at the Bitcoin's 3-month candles. Yeah, isn't that bearish when it's a bearish engulfing candle? I mean, listen, I'm not overcomplicating it. And like that guy said, why should you trust me? You don't have, I'm not trying to convince you to do anything. I'm just showing you the data. You can sell or you can buy whatever you want to do. It's your money. I don't care. I do care, but you got to do what's best for you. But I can't find I can't find bullish hopium that is normal. And I remember last year or last market cycle, I kept trying to find bullish hopium that was like made out of thin air. And look at where it got us. So I learned keep it basic. If the bear market signals are going off, it's probably a bear market. If you're losing all your money and the bear market signals are going off, it's probably a bear market. For me, the basic indicators that say it's a bull market are no longer in play. All indicators have been broken. The super trend is broken. The Gaussian channel is broken. The moving average is broken. I'm broken. All bear market signals. I don't know what else to say. Look at my body weight, dude. That's not bullish. Fucking A. The Black Swan will send everything down. It happens every cycle. Yeah, but I don't think we could go that much lower. I think the lowest we go is 80K. Maybe it wicks down to, yeah, maybe it wicks through 80K, but I don't see it breaking 80K. If it does, then the bottom might be a little lower. I think if we stop at 80K, the bottom is 40 to 50K. Yeah, if we stop now, the bottom is probably 50K. Because you always need a 50% move to the bottom. It happens every time, forever and ever. So wherever we are, where the bottom is probably 50% of that, roughly. So if we just bottomed, then 50% of wherever we bounce from would be 50K. So if the bottom is in now, then the bottom should be 50K. If we go down to 80K, then I think the bottom would be 40K. Because you can see here, 50% was around the bottom. So it's like wherever you bottom initially, I think the first one was fucked. Yeah. No, it was still 60%. So wherever the initial bottom is, the real bottom is probably half of that. So if we just bottomed today, then the real bottom should be like 44,000. But we said that yesterday, if we bottom today. We've been saying that for the last 5 years. No, I'm just kidding. We don't say that. We say it sarcastically if this is the bottom. But I think the hard part for me is going to be watching the alts bounce up. Because it's going to be like, I should have bought in, you know. But when do you buy in? Today, yesterday, tomorrow, the day before? Exit strategy says we're going back up. Didn't you say that yesterday? We are going back up. But, oh, ETH didn't even make a new low, barely. Yeah, the old coins are holding up pretty well, I'll admit. That's why I just have to accept the big ass bounce is coming. The big ass bounce will come at some point. I'm just gonna have to watch it. I wonder how Chill Guy's doing. Is it going up? Nah, it's not moving. When Q5. Here it comes. Dude, I feel like every time my stream's about to end, we just start bouncing. And every time I start my stream, we're going down. Right? It's like, when do we bounce? Right now, it's at 16. What happened yesterday at 16? Oh, that was Tuesday. Yeah, what happens at 16? Oh, the stock market closes. Yeah, see, yesterday at 16 we bottomed, then we went down again. Day before that, 16 was the top, then we went down. Then you had 16 again and we went down. 16 was almost the bottom, not quite. It's no correlation. It's just 2 or 3 days in a row. Look, the bottom is in. Jump on the Clash bandwagon. Why is it still going up? Oh, it's holding up very well. I mean, that's what it looks like at face value, but then again, if you measure it, it's down 70%. So it's doing what all the other altcoins do. It's waiting for the market to decide. Is it going to get a bounce or are we going down 80K? But it's holding up very well, I'll say. 160K by Christmas. I'll see you next time, Mr. Meow. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the 20. What's the percent the odds or bottom is in at 86K? I have no idea. I think if we get a big move down to 80K, I think that's when I'm gonna try and buy something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Right now, my only goal is don't lose any more money for the year. That's my only goal. Because again, how many people are just gonna keep buying in? Even Ben Cohen tried making some bullshit hopium last night with Ethereum. He was like, maybe we can get a rally back to the high. But like it stirs FOMO. It does. It stirs a lot of FOMO. Because he was saying that ETH BTC can bottom in December. And then he was showing the Tesla chart. And then it's like everyone buys in and then it goes straight down. Dude, I'm telling you, crypto sucks, man. I have to accept I had my chance. I can't. It's so much less stressful not holding everything. Even though I wish I would have taken more money out, but like I think even blockchain backer was saying old season, but like, every day you look at it, it's just red. Dude, even Coinbase, yo, Coinbase is starting to bleed now. Come on, man. You know it's bearish when Coinbase is going down. He said it might do a Tesla. Yeah, but how's that possible if Bitcoin broke all the bull market support? I don't know. I'm looking at MicroStrategy and I'm looking at Coinbase and it tells me save my money. My remaining money says please don't get rid of me. I don't want to go. And the old me would say, but you have to. But my 2023 version of myself says please don't come back here. And I have to listen to him. So I have to just sit on my hands and do nothing. I wonder how low Coinbase is gonna go. Oh my God, the S&P is at 652. Nobody said anything? Oh man. You guys are giving me bullish hopium as the S&P made a new low. Forget it, bro. Stop. Stop with the rubbish. Yeah, I think yeah, if we break the 3-day super trend, you might have some turbulence, chat. Next bull, let's keep it simple. Only buy MicroStrategy or buy Solana at $10. I mean, if Solana went to $10, I would have to buy that. I don't know if it's going that low though. Like, what is a realistic expectation for Solana? At face value, you could say you came back to the same price, so why wouldn't it do the same thing? But there's no FTX this time. So maybe the bottom for Solana is here. Yo, $30 Solana? Would you jump on that? Would you jump on a $30 Solana? You might have to. Just close your eyes. Yeah, I think if Solana went to $30, I might have to close my eyes and just get in. Right? Because even if it pulls an Ethereum and it just goes back to the high, that's a lot of money. That's a 9x. Chad, do you buy Solana at 30 bucks? Or maybe it goes here. This is the bottom. Yeah, 40 bucks. But then if you look at Sol BTC, it would have to be bottoming right now to avoid that. I don't know. There's no way to know. But there might be a different chain where I take the chance by MSRT. Because MSRT is now releasing a bunch of scam devices that's going to impact the price. When the time comes, which I guess is coming, we had to do some research on MSRT. You have to understand that the MSRT that's not out now is not the same coin that came out last time. There's more instruments. So we don't know what these instruments are. So isn't there like a bunch of different instruments that they have? It's not just MSRT. Imagine liquidity if Trump coin went to 0. Buying more Lunc at 1. If we do go back up, do you think there's a chance we move through the 50-week on the first try? Well, if we did, you would have the biggest bull trap in history because that's never happened before. Well, I'm using both the channel and the moving average because I think in 20 whatever year this was, you broke it. And remember, we got excited. Then you went straight down from that point. Like you did not stop. It just went straight down. So here's what I would tell you. For the Moon Boys on the bus, if we bottom right now and teleport right back up and by January we're back over the moving average, you just had the biggest bear trap in NBA history. If you get back over the moving average and it's March, you're probably seeing this again because this happened in March. Right? If we're near the moving average and it's March, it's probably a big bull trap. There's no time left for the bull market. Some people are saying, why is there a time limit? Because the momentum is turning bearish. So the longer you do this shenanigans, dude, the longer you do this shenanigans, the more bearish it gets. The clock is ticking. This thing can only stay up here for so long. So, and you made a lower high. There's a bearish divergence too here. Big one. So if it is a bull market, we got to bottom now and go right back to the high. But I'm not going to put my money in when this is about to confirm the bear market again. Another indicator is about to confirm the bear market. Every time we come to this point, it's a bear market. Forever and ever. I would rather just wait for the next time. MSTU and Stark will go to 0. What is MSTU? Is that another instrument? Oh yeah, this could be a good... What the fuck? Dude, this thing is actually going to 0. Yo, this could be a good gamble though, like when the bull run starts. I'm gonna add this to the watch list. MSTU, huh? 2x micro strategy? Aw, shit. Here we go again. That could be worth something. Aw, shit. Here we go again. Dude, 2x micro strategy. They're gonna have to do a stock split. Actually, they're gonna have to do a reverse stock split. Yeah, look, this thing did a 10x in 2 months. And now it did a 90% in 2 months. Telling you, Chad, we're gonna have so much time to plan. All right. Because think about this. If MicroStrategy bottoms, did you ever have more than a 50% drawdown? No, you didn't. Not until up here. So technically, you could gamble on this. And if MicroStrategy does a 5x, this is a 10x. It could be something to watch. Not now, but whenever we bottom. When you are bearish, we all should buy if you want to. I'm not telling you what to do. You gotta do what's best for you, man. Not financial advice. MSTU is oversold. They're probably gonna do a reverse stock split. Then it's not oversold anymore. I think a lot of the ETFs just did stock splits today. There's gonna be plenty of time. I have to make it to March without losing any money. I know there's gonna be a ginormous bounce and I'm gonna try and FOMO in and I'm gonna lose money. So I just have to do nothing. Watch the chat get rich. But it may be time for our daily shill. We did break 500 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So I do want to say thank you for that. I do want to say thank you for that. If you guys could check out the food channel, it is in the chat. We're on the road to 600 subscribers now. You guys are actually doing very well watching the videos. I appreciate that. Posted a video 2 days ago if you want to give it a watch. Posted the link in the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. SB for 2 says thoughts on PMI indicator. I don't know what that is. This? The manufacturer. Wait, this shit again? We're still talking about this? My question is, why is this the bottom and why is the bottom not down here? If they just said that unemployment went up and this is on a downswing, this looks like it's rolling over again. How do we know we don't have a recession? It comes to here. Then the money printing turns on, and then we get the big bull run next time. That would be my question. Like, if this was a chartable asset, why is this a bottom and not a bear flag? I don't even know if this is the right indicator, but you know, how come it can't come down here? Came down here in 2020, 29, and 2000. I appreciate it too, but I don't know if this is the right I don't know if this is the right indicator. But even if it doesn't go down, why does it have to go up? Why can't it just do this and then go up next bull run? This is again suggesting why we had a shitty bull run. But you can have 1,000 reasons why we had a shitty bull run. The reality is, me, Nangoyan, and John Doe, the three biggest assholes in the whole crypto space, all had so much money. So we did have a bull run. We just didn't get the euphoria that we wanted. But me, John Doe, and Nangoyan all had fuck you money. And we gave it all back. So it is what it is. But I guess the bottom's in again from yesterday. The new bottom has formed. Is it just me or did my voice get deeper? It feels like my voice is more boomy now, doesn't it? I just noticed it. My voice was never this boomy. Good morning. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I've been drinking more diet soda lately, chat. Num 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 num. That's so good. Num 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 num. Yesterday, I actually didn't drink any water. It was only Diet Sprite. Store brand. You're probably getting a cold for the last 6 months, do you think? Maybe it's finally time I'm becoming a man. I am a man. I don't know, is it worrisome that it's actually just staircasing down like this? What do we think? Or is that bullish? Yeah, what if it's doing like one of these? What are those? What are those? It might be. Oh shit. It might. Yo, hold on a second, chat. What if we're doing one of these where it's getting ready? Get ready, because here it comes. Well, that would be a nightmare if it just blasted down the 2500. All right, it looks like the bottom is in again. Every time I end my stream, the bottom is in. So we'll see where we're at tomorrow. Others BTC is staircasing up. Is that alt season? Yeah, it's bullish. It's going to the moon. There's going to be a big bounce at some point. Most people will make some money. So if you're selling, make sure you do your research, not financial advice. Because some of these coins are holding up pretty well, but it can only stay up for so long. Again, my base example is FWOG. Oh wow, it's at 85 now. Yeah, again, the coins are holding up well until they don't. That's the problem. Oh, Fartcoin came back down? Wow. Oh, this is bonk. This isn't Fartcoin. This is Fartcoin. Yeah, like Fartcoin is holding up extremely well, man. But for how much longer? you know. Looks like the bottom is in again. Everybody FOMO back in. Not financial advice. I imagine crypto banter when you do good evening, everyone. Is that what he says? No, that's not where I got it from. Does he's doing good on YouTube, right? I remember the first time I saw him, he was on CNBC. His name was Crypto Man Ran. He's probably a multi-millionaire. Yeah, his name used to be Crypto Man Ran. It's not here anymore. I guess he changed his name. There used to be an Asian guy. I said this last time. There used to be an Asian guy that made content in his garage, and he had two Lamborghinis, but he's not here anymore. I don't know where he went. And he used to talk about Zcash. I think he's been gone for like 7 years now. All right, so it's gonna be tough to not get chopped up, but at some point there's gonna be a big bounce, chat. It's coming. I just don't know where it is. Oh, XRP's starting to break down. Whoa, maybe not. Doesn't it feel like it's bullish again as soon as you see a green candle? That's the problem with crypto. But the real problem is it's because we think it's the crypto of old, where just because it bounces it's going to the moon. It's been bearish for so long, man. Let's see where we are tomorrow. We ended the live stream yesterday and it bounced, and we were at 89K. So now we're at 87K. So we fell by 3% in one day. Let's see where we're at tomorrow. So we're gonna bounce for the next however many hours. Let's see if we actually go up or if tomorrow we're again at 83K. Yeah, I think personally I might start getting in at like 80K. And if it never goes down there, then I just never get back in. But I can't lose any more money, so I can't do anything. All right, chat. It's been a great stream again. You guys have been showing out a lot in the last 3 weeks, man. I really appreciate the support. It's really life-changing. Did you sub to the food channel? No, not one sub. Wow. You guys are giving up on me already, huh? Not one sub. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. You guys know he gets shot at the end? I didn't mean to spoil the movie, but he got shot the fuck up. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Alright, chat. Appreciate all the support. As always, none of this is financial advice. Time to FOMO in. The bottom's in again. Not financial advice. We'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate the super chats, all the members. If you could sub, great. If not, that's fine. And we will be back tomorrow. So enjoy your day and bye.